Welcome to another video where I'm showcasing my Dragonite Metagross Magnezone team that I've been using since Season 2. Togekiss lead, that's pretty bad normally, but they make the play to bring out the ground type, which usually clears out Magnezone. Sometimes you can actually get two Meteor Mashes off if they don't throw their Sand Teams in time. This is a little weird because, yeah, he threw really late, so I was expecting an Earthquake, and then I won switch. It was also weird that he didn't shield. So now I'm just trying to do whatever I can with Metagross, knowing that Magnezone can pretty easily clean up in the back. So I was just doing whatever I could, try to get two Meteor Mashes off. He still has Togekiss in the back, which we can handle pretty easily. Yeah, I mean, Togekiss can't, it takes so long for it to get to moves. And this is going to be a GG. He's still going to play it out. But with the Sparks, a Wild Charge is enough to beat a Togekiss. He throws a Meteor Mash for some reason, even though it doesn't KO, but that is a GG. In next video, we have I Heart Gingers is leading Haxorus into Dragonite. So Haxorus has seen a lot of play recently, but it's not particularly great against Dragonite in even energy situations because it's so glassy. So I just shield the Dragon Claw and farm the whole thing down. And then he quits. Okay, next video is going to be showing a Swampert, or Machamp. Yeah, Swampert. So this is a really good matchup for Dragonite. Machamp's on the swap. Both Machamp and Swampert are pretty good matchups for Dragonite, unless they Stone Edge you. My backline's not particularly good against either of them, so Dragonite's going to have to carry me to victory here. I end up switching just to preserve some health on Dragonite. But the cross chops don't do that much. Meteor Mash on its own can take out most of Machamp's health. But we're trying to go for a switch here. A lot of games in Master Premier, like if you win Switch, you pretty much just win the game. Like in the Magnezone, Garchomp, and Togekiss, like those three, there's not hardly any counterplay. So he has Togekiss, I have Magnezone, I also have Dragonite for a Swampert, so it's looking pretty good. I try to build up a little bit extra energy in case I need it for Swampert, but it doesn't really matter at this point because Swampert is so low. It's nice when it lines up like that, but it doesn't always line up like that. Next battle is going to be the Machamp battle. So positive lead for Dragonite just because of the Dragon Breath damage does so much. He tries to safe swap in Gyarados, but Magnezone is pretty solid against Gyarados even with Aqua Tail. Normally you can shield once and just farm the whole thing down, but I don't want to play around. Just try to get a Wild Charge from Machamp ready. I'm able to get to the wild charge, and Machamp has very little farm that it can do. I always like to wait out the switch clock, just because I want to be able to switch since my opponent was the first one to switch. Metagross, Dragonite. I'm not sure why I don't try to counter swap, but it's a really tough matchup to be in the Metagross mirror when you're behind on energy. He goes for the Psychic. I don't know why he did that, unless he's not carrying Meteor Mash for some reason. But he Psychics again. Single moved? I don't know, man. Because it's double resisted by Metagross. Just a weird play. Okay, so those were kind of toward the very beginning, down in like the 2400 range. And now in this set, I'm 3-1 in the 2900s, trying to get to rank 10. So I'm facing off against a rank 10 Gatekeeper and a Shadow Snorlax lead. So I typically try to play this a little bit and try to switch out sometimes, but he actually switches out and catches a Hurricane. It's a little bit of wasted energy, but not that much per se. He is able to fire first. I possibly should have fired before he fires, so I didn't have to burn a shield. And then I thought about trying to undercharge, but it's super hard to really tell how much you need on an undercharge. So then he's got Swampert. I wasn't expecting a Swampert in the back based on his team composition, but it's good that we're finding this out now and not once Dragonite's dead. But the wild charges still do a decent amount to Swampert, and he's going for the complete farm down. So we're banking that he does not have Hydro Cannon, or does not have Sludge Wave. So he hasn't. My opponent has not shielded anything to this point, so I have to fast move down his whole team. And Shadow Lax's Licks get an extra damage against Metagross, I believe. So I'm able to shield a superpower, which lets me fast move it all the way down. And then Swampert's super low. Even though I have multiple Meteor Mashes, I can't throw him. I'm just banking that he does not have 2 already, and that's a GG. And so we go 4-1 in this set, but we have to do the reward encounter first. I'm not sure why I did not pick the thing beforehand, but it is what it is. And then we get to find out our rating up to 3008. Make sure to get the screen grab, send the group text. I got a bonus battle for you guys. I get to face Chan, who was number 2, I think maybe number 1 on the leaderboard at one point in time a couple of days ago. So Magnezone lead, I usually like to stay in this because they like to usually switch. So I just keep building up until I get 2 and throw 1. If they've built up to 2, then I'll shield 1. But he mirror shots me, which I thought was a weird play. Normally, they like to just throw a wild charge and dip. But he's not playing it like that. I don't really have a great safe swap into Magnezone, since if I bring in my own Magnezone, if they have a ground type, they just farm me all the way down. So I'm just sacking Dragonite and just praying that there is no ground type. And then I can aggressively farm with Metagross since he's debuffed. So he brings in Haxorus. This is actually one of the worst things my backline could see because he can get to the Night Slashes very fast. And then the counters just chunk away at Magnezone. So I try to be able to get a second Meteor Mash off into Haxorus is why I burned the shield. However, he was doing a good job on counting, so he was able to catch the Meteor Mash, but it's not the worst play in the world because I needed a Wild Charge and a Meteor Mash to KO Metagross. And unfortunately, his Haxorus can farm, and then also, unfortunately, I go for the wrong move here. I needed to be able to Wild Charge it. Was the only way I could have possibly won, because Wild Charge still does a decent chunk. Thanks for watching.